Hi, aren't you excited? This is the seventh in the series of Strunk and White Elements of Style. In preparation for your midterm exam on Thursday, October 21st, let's turn to Chapter 4, Words and Expressions Commonly Misused, page 39. Every single grammar book has a chapter like this. Well, maybe I should say almost every single grammar book. And the words and expressions commonly misused might be different for different books. So I want you to go through this chapter and list the words and expressions you commonly misuse. There's probably very few. There's probably the same set you do on every single paper, and if you memorized those, you wouldn't get so many things marked off. I mean, it drives me crazy, well, crazier maybe, that people can't get there, and you're correct on the internet, on Facebook, on Instagram, all those. Those are things that everybody should know, to me at least. So you will go through and see your errors. Now there's one that I used to do, thanks to this book. I don't do it anymore. Different than. Different than is wrong. It should be different from. So I corrected my own error there. So you will find several in here, probably 5 to 6, maybe more, that you need to correct. On page 47, flammable. An oddity, chiefly useful in saving lives. The common word meaning combustible is inflammable, but some people are thrown off by the in and think inflammable means not combustible. For this reason, trucks carrying gasoline or explosives are now labeled flammable. Unless you are operating such a truck and hence are concerned with the safety of children and illiterates, use inflammable. So maybe that's the kind of statement that made White think Strunk was funny. I don't know, but anyway, that's one to pay attention to. In fact, everything in here, well, almost everything in here is something you can learn or review. So what ones do you miss? Now, I wish that Strunk had added a lot, because a lot is always 2 words. And some of you still make that error. And I wish he had added whether and whether, because some of you still make that error. Although that's not as often as a lot. So that's chapter 4 for you to read. Of course, you're reading all the chapters. Next, I want you to go to the glossary. That's on page 89. There are a lot of grammar definitions here, stuff that you might not remember because you were either asleep or absent from high school class or bored stiff and not paying attention. I remember I spent a whole year in my high school English class water skiing on the Thames. Now you may wonder about that, but they had a painting of the Thames River above the teacher's desk. And so I would stare at that and pretend I was water skiing. So I understand. So now's your time to catch up. Now, something smart was done here. On page 95, it says glossary prepared by Robert Diani. So he got credit. So he can put that on his resume. The other people who worked on this book and edited it didn't get their names in the book. Because you know darn good and well that neither Roger Angle or E.B. White went through and edited the book. They hired somebody to do it. Probably paid them very little. And they didn't get their name in the book, but Diani was smart. I don't know who he is. I haven't looked him up. But he was smart contract-wise, because now he can put that on his resume. So go through this glossary, See if it's helpful. See what else you'd like to have added. What do you not need there? And this is the end of our fabulous number 8 video on Strunk and White.